It is part of the creation of proteins, and it's a must-have component of the DNA. We get our nitrogen by eating vegetables or other animals. Plants get their nitrogen from the soil. But if it's farmed again and again, the nitrogen gets out of the soil, and after some time, the plants won't grow healthy, and they get more susceptible to parasites. For farmers, no nitrogen means smaller crops. The solution is to add nitrogen back into the soil. And this is where the bird poop comes in. It's an ancient solution to this problem, used for hundreds of years by the Incans for the plants to grow taller and high up in the mountains. It has 20% nitrogen, and South America had lots of bird poop. In 1865, Spain went to war against its former colonies just for this bird poop found on their islands. But guano was so rapidly running out that by 1872, the bird poop was running out, and Peru banned exports. The world needed another way to fix the nitrogen deficit. This was a serious crisis. With the world population growing, and with the nitrogen supply inexistent, it wouldn't be enough food for all, which in 30 years could lead to global starvation. The chemists needed to come to the rescue. The laboratory was the place to turn starvation into plenty. Nitrogen is more than enough. More than 70% of the air is nitrogen, but it can't be used by the plants. Two atoms of nitrogen connected together can't be used by the plants. They need to be separated. Nitrogen has one of the strongest bonds in nature. To break two carbons, you need 3.8 electron volts. Two oxygens, 5.2 electron volts. But for nitrogens, 9.8 electron volts, an enormous amount of energy. They can only be separated by two forces in nature. The lightning, which forms nitrogen oxides, stay in the air until they fall to the ground in rain. There are also some bacteria living in soil which can break N2, creating nitrogen available for plants. But it's a very slow process, and there isn't enough lightning, so these can be used mass scale. So chemists tried. In 1811, Georg Hildebrandt tried by mixing nitrogen and hydrogen, trying to make ammonia at high pressure, one of the nitrogen-containing molecules found in bird poop. But it didn't work. But he was on the right way. In the following 100 years, numerous experiments were carried out, all being failures. That's until a man named Fritz Haber became interested in the problem. He spent 5 years on the problem. He had the idea not only to combine nitrogen and hydrogen at high pressure, but also at high temperature, with a catalyst, something that reduces the required amount of energy needed to split the nitrogen. For this, he needed new machines to create. He worked very hard for those machines to tolerate higher and higher requirements. He was also working as a technical consultant for a light bulb manufacturer, which means he had access to lots of rare materials like osmium. There were only 100 kilograms at the time of osmium, but the company had the most that existed. Haber thinked that osmium was the best material for the catalyst, so he steeled a sample. He placed his sheet of osmium in the pressure chamber, then the pressurized and heated the nitrogen and hydrogen to a high pressure and 500 degrees Celsius. Of the total gas mixture, 6% turned into ammonia. It was a historical success. Within 4 years, an ammonia factory opened in Opau, producing 5 tons each day. With the fertilizer on the same plot of land, as high as 4 times more of food could grow. This is a major reason that the population of the Earth quadrupled. That's why Earth supports 4 billion more people today than it could without the nitrogen fertilizer. But there also is a dark side. Ammonium nitrate, besides being a great fertilizer, it's also an explosive. In Beirut, 3,000 tons of this chemical caught fire, causing the massive explosion which could be heard from hundreds of kilometers away. An earthquake was created, with 3.3 on the Richter scale. There are so many explosions of ammonium nitrate that there is an entire Wikipedia list dedicated to them. Even the Opal plant where the chemical was created would explode in 1921. The Opal explosion was one of the earliest and deadliest incidents involving ammonium nitrate and caused extensive damage to the surrounding area. Today, strict regulations and safety measures are in place to prevent such disasters. However, the dual nature of ammonium nitrate as both a fertilizer and an explosive highlights the complex relationship we have with nitrogen. Let me know if you like this content by subscribing, because it's only the beginning.